CGMs, continuous glucose monitor to test your blood sugar versus a blood prick glucometer. And should you even bother buying this equipment? Let's get into it. Welcome everyone to my very humble life. Now, it's been crazy around the Thundercloud Ranch the last month, but I have learned so much clarity on what's important in life, but I will show you later exactly what I'm talking about. But for now, let's talk about these pieces of testing of the blood sugar. The reason why I'm doing this video is because this guy comments, I like what you're doing, but I've seen or heard gurus using a glucometer and they have no blood sugar spike after eating a bunch of protein. And I'm like, okay, let's do a video. First of all, CGMs are very inaccurate. I mean, if you compare it to a blood prick glucometer, let's say there's an inaccuracy of like this. You want to talk about a CGM and it's this inaccurate or this. Sorry guys. What it is testing is the interstitial fluid, not the actual direct blood. And there's a delay. There's a delay of this testing of the actual sugars because you need enzymes to detect the glucose in your body. Think about it. If you're dehydrated, it's going to affect the numbers. The numbers are kind of useless. You can go and drink or eat a bunch of protein, test your blood sugar and not get a reading because you're super dehydrated because it needs to test the interstitial fluid. It's not getting a read. And this happens to a lot of people. So you have to take this CGM with a grain of salt. And people don't. Like, they really, really believe it. Now, when you check the numbers, they can be 20, 30, 40 points off. So use a darn glucometer. Stay hydrated when you're putting this patch on your arm so you can get an objective reading, and realize there's always going to be a delay on how it detects glucose. So if you're wondering if you should invest in one of these machines or devices, I wouldn't waste my time. Sometimes it can be advantageous to check the algorithm, but you have to be hydrated. And I do consultation after consultation where people might drink 2-3 liters, but there's gaps where they're not. They'll chug a bunch in the morning and then they'll chug a bunch later, but nobody's staying completely hydrated to the amount of how much fluid that we lose. I'm trying to hurry up and get outside to my house that's being worked on. People are not keeping up with their hydration or their minerals to keep the fluid in the cells. So again, that CGM is very subjective. So if you're watching gurus like, look at my patch, my blood sugar doesn't spike after eating protein. Bullshit. Okay? Nonsense. Be very careful. These people will sell you everything in a bag of Doritos and call it like liver chips. Be very, very careful, right? Especially the more products being sold. Although that's not always the case, but often, not always the case, often it can be. So be careful for how you hear or what you hear that, oh my God, I work with people who use glucometers and their blood sugar is skyrocketing after a lot of protein. And I don't mean just a few people. I mean all of the clients that use a blood prick where you can access glucose in your blood directly. And please only prick one time. Don't prick 3 times in a row because you didn't like the first number. it'll alter the number. But people using a blood prick your finger with a needle pen are going to get more of closer to accuracy than a CGM. CGMs are terrible with accuracy. I mean, like I said, most people are dehydrated on these low carb, carnivore, keto, snake, lion, whatever diet, as opposed to the average person who's using a CGM who's a diabetic. Okay? A glucometer is going to access the blood glucose immediately, and a CGM is not. It's just testing interstitial fluid. Now, with that said, protein does spike your blood sugar. If you don't believe me, go eat 2 pounds of meat in one meal. Test before. Because people don't even know how to test for a blood sugar spike. Some people might test the next day after eating a high protein meal the night before. And if you have a lot of GLUT4 receptor sites and you're able to uptake glucose more easily than the other person because you're athletic, you may not see high glucose in the morning. Or you might not see major spikes on a CGM. But that would be an elite athlete. That's very unusual. So let's not count the unusual. That's not the main thing. The main thing is the average person who struggles balancing their blood sugar, especially when they cut out the carbs. Yes. Comment below. Are you using a CGM? Are you tripping on the numbers? Have you used a CGM and a blood prick glucometer? Do you get rid of the glucometer, the blood prick, because you don't like what it's telling you? Yeah. Has anybody eaten 2 pounds of meat in a meal, tested a blood sugar 2 hours later, and it doesn't spike at all? Let me know. Okay. My Instagram is Stephanie Ketogenic. Facebook fan page is Stephanie the Business Person. If you guys feel like you need help with this, obviously I've been working with clients who use glucometers for a bazillion years now. Okay, I've been on YouTube since 2010. Ketotic. Or 2025. So if you need help, I've learned a lot. I won't be jerking your chain and selling you some general plan. I actually work with people. So if you're struggling, I'm your girl. Yeah, my Facebook fan page is Stephanie the Business Person. I do have a course where I cover all 3 diets because I'm starting to coach more and more people who are doing low carb because their gallbladder or hypoglycemia or dysglycemia. And they need to start off easy before transitioning. Comment below, share this content. That's how people find me. And I'm out because it's so beautiful today. It's the warmest day. It's like 75 degrees today. Low humidity in the 20s. Absolutely gorgeous. Let me put the camera outside the window. Okay? It is a gorgeous, gorgeous day. So I got to get back out there. And I'm out.